Okay, so our first one is 9.3, surface area of pyramids and cones. Define the surface area of a pyramid and a cone is your objective. That should be written down on your page. We're doing our first one. Yesterday I taught you guys about this, but for consistency inside, but I want to talk to you about it again. So for the surface area of a rectangular prism, thank you. So surface area of a rectangular prism, it does not matter which side you choose to be your base. The surface area is the same. No matter what it takes to cover all of it, doesn't matter which side it's sitting on. But your lateral area changes, right? So if you set it like this, and the bases were the top and the bottom, your lateral area would be all these giant rectangles. But if you sat it on one of the giant rectangles, your lateral area would be two giant rectangles and two small rectangles. So that lateral area would change. So for consistency, when I give you a problem like this, and I ask you to find the lateral area, or the surface area, it doesn't matter. Your bases will be the top and the bottom, the floor and the ceilings, okay? Okay, so for the question number 1, we have a formula for surface area that I gave you yesterday. So surface area equals, what is that formula? Yep, exactly right. 2b plus p times h, where b is the area of your base. So area of my base, and that base is what type of shape? It's a rectangle. We find the area of a rectangle by what? Yep, base times height. I heard somebody say it. So 2 inches times 3 inches. We multiply those. Yep, we get 6 inches squared. You also have to take into consideration the perimeter of your base. So that's adding up all the sides. So that's the 2 plus the 3 plus the 2 plus the 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. So that gives me 10 inches. The next one is my height. What is my height? Yep, it's 6.
My elbow.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so our next one up is now to find our surface area. You have to plug it in. So 2 times my base area, which is 6 inches squared, plus my perimeter of 10 inches, times my height of 6 inches. 2 times 6 is what? 12 inches squared. Plus 6 times 10, which is 60 plus 12. 72 inches squared. Okay, so that is the surface area of that rectangular prism. The next one up, what type of shape is that? It's a triangular prism. Prism means that it has the rectangular walls. Shape of the base is a triangle. How do you find the area of a triangle's base? What'd you say? Times 1/2. So 1/2 base times height. So over here, now when it's talking about base and height of the triangle's base, you're only looking at the triangle. So the only thing you're considering is the 5, the 12, and the 13. So our base's height is going to be that, what did you say? 12, yep. So 1/2 times 12. 1/2 times 12 times what is my base? 5. So half of 12 is what? 6. 6 times 5 is 30 inches squared. Nice job. Okay, perimeter. Your perimeter is where you add that up. So it's going to be 5 plus 12 plus 13. 5 plus 12 plus 13. 30. What'd you say, hon? It is a 1/2, and I canceled the 2.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so now you have the height of this figure. The height is what joins the two bases together. What is the height? It's 4. So you're now going to substitute it in. So you have 2 times your base area, which is 30 inches squared, plus your perimeter, which was 30, times your height of 4 inches. So over here you end up with 60 inches squared, plus 120 inches squared. Adding those together, what do you get? 180 inches squared. Another formula. What is the formula for the surface area of a cylinder?
Is that the one that's like 2 pi something?
It is
2 pi r
2 pi r
squared.
squared plus.
2 pi r.
What else do we have to consider? The h. Yep. So that's where we're at. So in this one, for our first problem, you have surface area equals 2 pi. And what is my radius in the first question? Yep. 7 inches. Or 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters. Let's go back and change that. Oh, sadness. Okay. 7 centimeters squared plus 2 times my pi of my 7 centimeters squared. And what's my height? 10. Okay, so now we combine like terms and add. So 7 times 7 is? Times 2.
I can't do that, can you?
It's 98. 98 pi centimeters squared plus, and then I did minus 2 times 7, which is?
2 minus
2 times 7. 14 times 10. 140 pi centimeters squared. Okay, add these two together. When you add them together, what do you get?
I still gotta write it first.
Okay, I heard part of it. 238 pi centimeters squared, and I wanted a decimal approximation to go along with it. So you're going to put in your calculator 238 times pi.
I don't know what you're expecting me to do.
Like that? Okay, so Rena told us this answer. Do you guys agree?
Yup.
Awesome.
Good. Nobody else, but okay, good.
Next one up.
You're so cool.
You too. Okay, so our next one up is we want to find the surface area of our next shape. So surface area here is still going to have that same formula, 2 pi. My radius now is what value? 3 feet, right? Squared plus 2 pi r, which is the 3 feet, times my height of, what's my height? 6 feet, yep. Okay, so we combine those. 3 times 3 is 9, times 2 is 18 pi plus, I also have 6 times 3 times 2. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36 pi. We add the 36 and the 18, and what do you get? That is true. We get some. Yep.
That's what I said.
54 pi feet squared, which is approximately what value?
Right there.
What'd you get? 169.65. And this is in feet squared. Of our definitions is we have a pyramid. A pyramid has one base, and the lateral edges are not parallel. If they were parallel, right, that's going to be like this rectangular prism. A little manipulative I have here. But they don't. They come up to a point. So you notice they're not parallel. Your next part is plastic. Okay. So they meet that single vertex. The lateral faces will always be triangles. You see, the pyramid means the sides are triangles. And then it's named by our base. So this is what? It's a rectangular pyramid. Okay, so for it to be regular, do you remember what it means to be regular?
Congruent.
It means congruent. Congruent sides and congruent angles. So this, not regular. This, regular. Same right angles, 4 sides that are the same size. This is a regular one as well. Okay, after that, we have the height of the pyramid. This is a perpendicular distance. What does it mean to be perpendicular? Forms a right angle, and the right angle has how many degrees? 90 degrees. So it's dropping this nice little 90-degree angle in here. I know this picture is a little blurry. What's happening is that that's coming down from this vertex and connecting to this point right here in the bottom. So it's directly in the middle of your pyramid. And the last one is your slant height. Your slant height is the height of any of the lateral faces. I drew a line on here. It starts here and it goes up to the top as faded during the day. So your slant height is from the middle of the base all the way up to your vertex of the side. So it's the height of each triangle side. Okay, so that is your definitions. We're now on to our first example. So you should write out your formula there. Okay, give him a second. We'll go back.
We need to learn what the
Are you sure? Okay. The surface area of a regular pyramid is base plus 1/2 your perimeter times your slant height. Your slant height, we abbreviate with that L. That's kind of cursive, so that's the same thing as this formula. I'll rewrite it. So you have B plus 1/2 PL. So we're going to go through this and we're going to find the lateral surface area. Oh, I just was going to do the regular surface area. So let's do the regular surface area first, and then we'll find the lateral surface area. So the lateral area, the surface area, blah, blah, blah. The surface area is that B plus 1/2 P times L. What is the area of my base? So my one side's 2. What's my other side? So 2 times 2 is? 4 meters squared. Your perimeter of your base, it's 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is? A lot of 2's. Adding 8. 8 meters. And then your L is your slant height. What's your slant height? 3. So again, notice how that goes up the side of one of these triangles. So we end up with 4 meters squared plus 1/2 times 8 meters times 3 meters. And what happens here is we take 1/2 of 8, which gives me 4. So I have 4 meters squared plus 4 times 3 is 12 meters squared. We combine those and we get 16 meters squared. So if I wanted to find the lateral area, so just the triangles, not the base, since this is a regular regular pyramid, we are able to do the area of one face and multiply it by 4. So how do you find the area of one triangle? Yep, so lateral area is going to be 4 times 1/2 base times height. I have my 1/2 times 4. That'll give me 2. And then my base is 2. And my height is 3. So you end up with, what'd you tell me? 12 meters squared. Which we know the area of the base is 4. If you add 4 to it, you get our other area. Okay, I'm going back. Here, we have to find the slant height. This one does not give it to us. We have the height of the entire triangle, or the pyramid. So the height of the entire pyramid drops right down. But we don't have the height of our slant. How can I calculate that? We're going to have to be doing some of that. That is all correct. So if I drew this in right here, to find this slant height right here, what shape did I just draw? What type of triangle?
Right angle.
What can we do with right triangles to find the missing side?
Pythagorean theorem.
We can do the Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to Pythagorean theorem this triangle. And we're going to do L squared equals, we have 15 as my height squared, plus what is that distance on the base? So the whole of the distance is 18. That little line for the height drops right down. So it's going to be half of it. It has to be 9. So we have 9 feet right here. So we ended up with 9 squared. 15 squared is? 15 times 15 is? 225. Plus 9 squared, which is? We add those two together. What do you get?
Watch this. Stop. I need to ask him a question.
306 is the correct answer. We square root both sides. Is 306 a perfect square? No, it never is. So to find the slant height, we're going to do L equals the square root of 306. And then what do we do to figure out how to simplify that square root? Factor tree. Yeah, do for this one. So what goes into 306? 153 and? Okay, what else goes into 153? 3. 3 goes into it 51 times. What goes into 51? Something does. 150. 17 and? So 3 and 17 also go into it. Right now, you circle the things that have buddies. The things that have buddies get to escape. They live on. The things that don't have buddies stay locked up forever. So 17 times 2 is 34. So your lateral, or your slant height, is going to be that 3 square root of 34. So on this, our first step is to find the area of my base. So our base is 10 and 10. That multiplies to be 10 meters times 10 meters, which gives you 100 meters squared. Then we have our perimeter. What is my perimeter? So what is the perimeter of this? It's what? It is. What is 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10? It's going to be 40. 40 meters. And then we have to find our slant height. Okay, so we need to find that L. That is your slant height right here. So L squared equals my height of what?
8 squared.
Yep, 8 squared. Nice job. 8 squared plus
5 squared.
5 squared. That's correct. Nice job. This gives me 64 meters squared plus 25 meters squared.
89.
It's going to give you 89. So you weren't confused. You got all this.
No, you good.
You're going to square root both sides.
I don't know after that.
And I'm going to be honest with you right now, because we are not looking for the slant height. I'm not going to make you simplify to 89. So since we're going to use it in another calculation, I'm fine if you leave it like that.
Yup.
So that is your L. So right now we're going to go over here and you have your surface area equaling. So the area of the base is 100 meters squared plus the 1/2, and then total our perimeter is 40 meters times my slant height of square root of 89. Mine did not fit on one line. That also has a meters attached to it. It has a meters here. So when you put this in your calculator, you can put it in as 100 meters squared plus 20 square root of 89 meters squared. And you're going to combine those. So what you're doing in your calculator right now is combining those two for me. So 100 plus 20 times the square root of 89.
Is it 288.7? No. Is it 288.67? No.
288.67, is that what you said? Do you guys agree with him? I don't have my page. Okay, I have 2 people confirming it. I will go with that as true. Okay, so the lateral area of a cone is pi r L. L is the slant height. Your surface area of a cone is pi r squared plus pi r L. Again, that's the slant height. So we're going to go on to the first one, and we're going to find our surface and lateral area. I'm going to draw a line so I don't bleed over into the other question. So let's start with our lateral area. Lateral area equals pi r L. So do we have our slant height in this question? We do. It's listed right here. So my radius is 7. My slant height is 12. We multiply those together. What is 7 times 12? 84 pi inches squared, which is approximately what measure? 84 times pi. 263.8?
9.
Okay, inches squared. And then we have our surface area. I would either like 2 decimal places or, yeah. Okay, so then we have our surface area, which is pi r squared plus pi rl. The pi rl is what we already completed. It's this, right? Pi rl is the second half. You know that answer. So I'd have pi, my r is 7 inches squared. And then I could bring down that 84 pi inches squared. 7 squared is 49 pi inches squared plus 84 pi inches squared. What is 49 plus 84? It's 133. Nice job. 133 pi inches squared, which is approximately 62, like that, inches squared. Oh, 417.62 is that what you got?
I didn't do 5, I said 3.14.
For the day, so last question. We do not know our slant height. We got to calculate it. How do I calculate my slant height? Pythagorean theorem it. You end up with 11 feet squared plus 10 feet squared. 11 feet squared. 11 squared is 121 feet squared. 10 squared is 100 feet squared. I'm finding my lateral, not my lateral, I'm finding my slant height. My slant height is the height of my lateral face. Slant height. Okay, so that gives me 200 and what? 221 feet squared. So that is my square root of that would give me my L. Our next part of this is to now find my lateral area. Lateral area equals pi RL. So you know pi, my R is 10. My L is that square root of 221 feet. So you end up with 60 square root of 221 pi feet squared. You're going to put that in your calculator. When you do this, you should probably put the pi next to the 60. 60 pi square root of 221.
Is that 10 or 16?
It's 10. I peek real quick. Yep. Okay. So he arrived at. Oh, it's a 10. I'm so sorry, guys.
No.
It's not a 60. I wrote the wrong number. It's a 10. Change yours to a 10. Yeah, you just asked me if it was 16. I thought you were just talking about the radius.
Man, she knows. Yeah.
Yes, that's why I asked.
So when you change that, what do you get? Mike, do you mind if I borrow this real quick?
What?
Did you already get it? What? So your answer is 469.04. 469.04 feet squared. Now you have to do your total surface area. You already did the second half of this. I'm going to change my color so you can distinguish what we're doing. You have now, if I work up in this corner for you to see, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so surface area here will now be pi, what's my radius? 10 squared.
10, it's 10.
Okay. Plus the number I just calculated, 469.04.
I thought it was pi before that. Plus pi.
So this is the same portion. This pi RL
Yeah.
is the same thing as this here, pi
Oh,
RL.
okay.
So I'm just directly substituting in. Group over there, hold on. We have 100 pi plus 469.04. 100 times pi is 3.1415, so 314.15 plus 469.0. We add these together, what value do you get?
So don't say you know I was right now, because you know I should write it in.
I will. I have faith in him.
Stop straight.
They're just good.
What did I say?
Is it 783 point?
No, 469 point.
Yeah, 468.18.
460. Okay.
468.18.